みんなの絆で宇宙をつかめ! Hey guys, KRX50 here with another double review. This time I'll be reviewing the Astro Switch, Cosmic Switch, and Cosmic Module Deluxe Barizun Sword from Kamen Rider Forza. These are respectively the final Astro Switch and the weapon of Forza in Cosmic State. So, these two were sold separately, but they are meant to go together, hence why I'm doing this as a double review. So, starting off, we'll look at this. This is number 40, the Cosmic Switch. This is a Circle Switch, and the final Circle Switch, as well as I just mentioned, the final Astro Switch in Forza's numbered order. This is not the final Switch to be released, but this is the final one that Forza is to use in the series. At least, according to what information has been given. So, we've got here in this nice translucent light blue color, I have the sticker here with the number 40 and some twinkles in the background. Again, it's a kind of a prismatic color, which is a very silvery light blue. And the kind of hollow foil prism effect on it is different from that of the other switches, being, as I said, more prismatic rather than being sparkly like the others, if that makes any sense. But this is just the part that goes into any given device. Whereas the bulk of the switch is up here, being this silvery cover part. And one thing you'll notice off the bat is that it's rather off-center. Now that is actually for a reason that I've figured out, which is simply that they did this so that there wouldn't be any overhang from this part of the switch that would get in the way of the cross switch socket, which, since this is a circle switch, it goes right next to it. So I've got this silvery cover part with this clear plastic part at the top, which is the gatefold hatch. And inside you can see the enhanced key, which is the activation switch for the Cosmic Switch. Got some nice ridged details on the sides, on the front, and on the back. You also notice a button right here, as well as a second arrow. This one is for the as an indicator for the mechanism. Because you'll notice that there's also this divot that is specifically shaped for this button here, and that's because the way you access the switch is by pulling down the idling slider here, like so. That reveals the switch itself, which is surrounded by this yellow part with these V-shaped stripes along it. But from there we can get to the electronics. So this one, like the N and S magnet switches, has an on and off switch. So you just turn it on by switching it on like this, and it will light up and speak when it's switched on. So it says number 40, because it is number 40 or 40. So on its own it has some sounds. To start off, you just pull down the slider, then press the switch once. It'll start off by saying danger. Then you got this, which is the release button, so just press this and the switch will go back up. Then pressing it again. It repeats danger 13 times. So then pressing again. And one thing to note is that you don't have to wait out the full 13 repetitions of danger. At any time you can just press the release button to shut it off. Pressing it a third time. you hear it say goodbye and an explosion sound. Which this is all basically shown in the first episode, debuted in being what happens when you try to activate the switch while it's not in the driver, while it's not in the Forza driver. Pressing it one more time, you hear that the switch is busted, so switching it off and pulling it back up. Your system recovers, so now it's fixed itself. And actually, one thing to note is that you can actually pull it up early and it'll automatically do the reset of that. Well, if you pull up the slide, it'll automatically do a reset of that sequence of sounds. So from here we can bring in the Forza driver. Gotta switch it on. Do the transformation. So from there, you can take out the rocket switch, then put in the cosmic switch. And I'm just going to lift up the camera because, well, it is a tall switch, so you're going to want to see it as well as the driver. So, yeah, there it says its name, similar to the N and S magnet switches, as well as lights up. So, obviously, the way to activate it is to pull down the cover and press the button. But there are some extra sounds to it, so I'm just going to be quiet so you guys can hear the full thing. So first off, we had a standby sound for it. And then, as you can see here, the status monitor changes to blue to reflect how Cosmic State is blue. And this transforms Forza into his final state, Cosmic State. So, like with the magnet switches, pulling on the enter lever will just do that sound, and it overrides any limit breaks. Now, I'm going to be leaving it in the driver for now, since that's the bulk of the sounds, and you'll hear what other sounds it makes. Well, there is a sound that you get when you pull out of the driver, but just to show you guys that it does this, it has the same switch off sound as the driver and the magnet switches, as well as the rocket switch Super 1. So we're just gonna switch it back on. And for now, move the driver out of the way, so we can take a look at the Barizun Sword. So here it is in its first mode, which is boost mode. And you will notice that I pulled it away, that I had it positioned away from the camera and at an angle, because this thing is big, as would be expected of the final toy of the year. Or at least the final weapon in the main rider's arsenal. So here in boost mode, the aesthetic is pretty obvious, being that of a rocket ship. And they put in a lot of nice molded in detail. From these black rings, to these red sides, to more up here. got these fins on the front and sides, as well as 3 rocket boosters here on the front, or at least on this lower part of the front by the handle, which has the trigger right here. You also got these 2 parts that are sticking out, and of course, being a force weapon, you got a switch socket down here. You also notice this lever, which is the master controller. This is an important part of the game, of the play gimmick of the Barizun Sword, so I'll get to that. But first off, I'm going to switch it on using this on-off switch, and I'm going to switch it on from this angle, so that you can see the lights as well as hear the sounds. So as you can see, these are the parts that light up with the toy. So, starting off with just the basic attack sound for boost mode. Don't get anything by holding the trigger, but there are a lot more sounds that this has. So next up, I'll show you guys the mode change. Now this is what involves the master controller. So what you do with it is you've got this grip here that can be squeezed in, so that you hold it in like so, then pull it, and it switches over like this. Just going to do it one more time so you can get the full effect. So as you can see, pulling it all the way down here extends out the blade. So then taking these 2 parts of the variant cylinder, which are the cover pieces for the sword, just snapping them into these 2 places on the side, you now have it in slash mode. This is the more often used mode, as this is the more offensive one. Or at least this is the one where it's a little bit easier to wheel around, and the one that's more sword-like. So opening it up, you get even more detail. You got all this molding detail on the insides of the variant cylinder. You've also got the transition edge, which is the main blade of it. You've got all these nice parts. That's some nice, more molded in detail. You can see the inner workings. You can see the red extension part, as well as the tip of the blade, which itself looks like a rocket ship as well. So you've also got the basic slashing sound for this mode. And once again, nothing when you hold down the trigger. So from here, we can get into the main gimmick. And for that, we are going to need these. The main gimmick of the Barizun Sword is that it's compatible with other circle switches. So here I've got this selection of circle switches here. And one of the good things is that these will not be hard to obtain because every circle switch has been released in deluxe form. There is no circle switch that is Gachapon or Candy Toy only. So that's a good thing to this. So anyway, just going to have it like this, or better yet, I'll just have it like this, so that you guys can see how this goes. So we'll do these in order, starting off with rocket. So what you heard there was a different rocket on sound. And really it was more sung than spoken by a chorus-like combination male and female voice. Just gonna let you guys hear that once more. I'm pulling the trigger. Now, one thing to note is that the sound that it makes changes depending on which mode it's in. So, for this review, I'm going to basically be going through all of these switch sounds, first in slash mode and then in boost mode. So, to change it back, you pull in the blade, then press this button to release the wings here, and fold it all the way back up. And pressing the trigger again. So now deactivating the switch and pulling it out. And switching back to slash mode. Next up is Magic Hand. Then the boost mode. And I just dropped the switch, so just pick that back up. Back to slash mode. And next up is Elec. And yeah, you will notice that every time I remove the switch I have to press this button because, like the he-hack gun, it is locked into place. Just putting that back. And yeah, as you'll notice, this is going to be one of my, well, this is going to be a longer review because of the gimmick. But that's kind of what it takes to be comprehensive. Because, in truth, not many people have shown all the functions of the Barizun Sword. Excuse me. Next up is Chain Array. Another thing to note is that the Barizun Sword is actually rather heavy. And that's mainly because of the variant cylinder pieces, which basically decide which end has more weight depending on mode. So next is Flash. Next up after that is fire. After that is scop. After that is claw. And last but not least, we have Meteor. Now you'll notice that I didn't use a magnet, and I'll show you why. First by switching it back to slash mode, then bringing in the end magnet switch. You'll notice that I didn't say its name, and here is why. It doesn't recognize the end magnet switch, nor will it recognize any Legend Rider switches. And just makes that sound, so obviously it would make the other sound while it's in boost mode. As I can demonstrate here. So there's that. But now that I've shown off all of those switches, we can bring back in the Forza driver and take out the Cosmic switch. So there's the sound when you take it out. Just to give you a clearer version. So there's that sound. And from here we can get to the limit breaks. And yes, I said limit breaks. This has, the Barizun Sword has 2 limit break sounds, one for each mode. Just gonna put it in like this, at this angle, so you can just get the full length of it. Then switching it back to boost mode, switching it back to slash mode. Doing that once more. So that activates Forza's main finisher and cosmic state, the Rider Super Galaxy finish. Now there's also another way you can do this, which is similar in method to the other switches. They actually did take into account people who might want to try doing it like with the other switches. So when you put it in, like this, it recognizes it as the cosmic switch. So from there you can do it the manual way. So there's that. And of course it'll do the same thing in boost mode, but I've already shown you the boost mode limit break. So in there I can just take it off and take it out. So just to finish it off, gotta switch it back to boost mode. And then switch it off. So overall, these two are a great pair. The Cosmic Switch really is a fitting final switch, and the Barizun Sword is a great weapon, both on its own, and it becomes even better if you have the other circle switches, especially the Cosmic Switch, which gives it its limit break. So overall, these are definitely recommended, and these are a great way to finish off the Forza toy line, or at least the main bulk of it. As I said, there's still more to come, but those are more of extras to the toy line, and not main parts of the toy line. That being said, these two really are great. I really like them, and this really does feel rewarding if you've been collecting the switches, because you get to have all these different sounds because you collected all the different circle switches. So, like with Nugget Gyroica that rewarded you for collecting the food droids, this rewards you for collecting the switches. So if you have really been pouring your time and money into collecting them, this is really good payoff. So if you have been collecting and you want to get something else that can work really well with the switches, then definitely get this. And of course, if you're going to get one, get the other. So, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and check out my channel for more videos. And for now, this is Character 50, writing off.